Oregon is home to more than 250 beautiful state parks. And with tens of millions of guests each year, it's up to the trusty state park rangers to care for them all. It's a job with many hats, and today, I'm going to wear a few. We're traveling the state to learn how people stay safe in their weird and wonderful jobs. I'm Corey Jenkins, and this is Oregon Odd Jobs. Welcome to Milo McIver State Park. Just 45 minutes outside of Portland, along the Clackamas River, this park offers ample opportunities for outdoor recreation. And today, to keep guests safe, the rangers here were getting ready to remove an old dead tree. So here we are at Milo McIver. I'm with
Nick.
Good to meet you, Nick.
Nice
Corey.
to meet you, Corey.
So tell me a little bit about Milo McIver State Park.
So Milo McIver was originally going to be a golf course, actually, and luckily it's become an Oregon State Park. Great fishing opportunities. We got Estacada Lake for kayaking. All around, we have a lot to offer. Whether you're, a pro disc golfer or a fisherman or just want to enjoy our hiking trails.
Tell us a little bit. What are we going to do today?
Today we're just removing a hazard tree in a day use area. We got a lot of people, families that enjoy these areas, and better to have it be a controlled fall than whenever it wants to go.
With that, we started our scene assessment, making sure no one was around the tree or the riverbank behind it, determining which way it was leaning, which way we wanted it to fall, and where our escape route would be once it did fall. Cutting down a tree is one of those jobs where you can never be too careful. So it was no surprise that Nick took his personal protective equipment very seriously.
For me, I want to make sure I have my hard hat. As you see, there's dead branches coming in there, and I want to make sure I'm protected. I want to have my eye protection and my cut-resistant gloves here. I like to keep the saws sharp. It makes your ergonomics a lot easier. You're not fighting the saw the whole time. Got my chaps in case I get a chain kickback. Ear Pro. I like to actually wear earplugs and the muffs.
Doubling it up.
Doesn't hurt when you're doing it a lot.
Without the proper experience, this was a job I was more than ready to leave to the professionals. And so, from a distance, I watched Nick go to work. The tree was down, but the work wasn't done. It was now time to take off the limbs and get them ready for the wood chipper.
So I don't like to use the big saw for limbing. I'm a big fan of use the right size saw for the job.
Yeah.
Less likely to get hurt, less fatigue.
I wasn't qualified for this job either, at least not where the chainsaws were concerned. But hey, at least I could carry a branch or two. With them neatly lined up, it was time to bring in yet another dangerous piece of equipment. The wood chipper.
This is the Eager Beaver. It is a chipping machine, and it is quite powerful. It's a hungry machine, and it'll just keep eating until you stop. And it doesn't care if it's wood, rock, or a human limb. So
I'll take anything. Wow.
If you happen to get sucked into this machine, there are two cords that you can pull here that will put that into
That's
neutral.
what those are for.
The idea is to talk about this stuff, know that there's hazards out there, and how can we eliminate anybody from potentially going into that chute. So
Yeah, because if you get in there, it's game over. Well, now that I was sufficiently terrified, the park rangers and I lined up and one by one fed the branches to the beast, giving each other and the machine plenty of space until every last branch was crunched into a pile of carnage. Chopping down trees is only one job of the park ranger. So, once we swept up the rest of the mess, it was time to go to the bathroom. Clean it, that is.
this is a campground bathroom, the lifeblood of the campground. So if the bathroom is happy in the campground, everything else is happy. So let's go take a look.
Before we started work, Aaron showed me the cart with the brooms, chemicals, and other supplies. And even after 15 years, you could tell he still took bathroom cleaning as seriously as any other part of the job. And you clean every day?
Every day down here. Sometimes we do it 2-3 times. It all just kind of depends. And a lot of things we do is we take pride on the work that we do, even when it comes to restroom cleaning.
Yeah.
A lot of people are expecting that.
It was time to tackle the bathroom itself, step by step. First, brushing down the cobwebs and dust. Then, spraying down all the touch points with the first bit of cleaner. Wiping everything back down. Then disinfecting, sweeping, and mopping. With a wet floor sign to finish it off, we marveled at our work. With that, it was time to say goodbye to Milo McIver and head to Beverly Beach, where hundreds of guests were enjoying a summer vacation. And park rangers worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make it a pleasant experience for everyone. Hey, Peter, Corey.
Hi, good to meet you.
Good to meet you as well. So tell us a little bit about your job as a park ranger.
Well, as a park ranger, we do a lot of things. We have 280 sites, so there can be about 2,000 campers that stay here a night. So there's a lot of facilities maintenance and cleaning that we have to do.
And part of that is trash.
Yes, we deal with a lot of trash. We have 2 compactors that usually every week and a half, we have to get them emptied out because there's just a lot of trash that comes through here.
Okay, so let's go get our hands dirty.
Let's do it.
Okay. Now, when it comes to trash, you unfortunately never know what you're gonna touch. So before getting started, we put on our nitrile gloves, glasses, and puncture-resistant gloves, just in case.
Should we go check some trash?
Let's check some trash.
Okay, here's our bear-proof. Hey, we got trash.
Using a litter pick to avoid using our hands, we evened out the trash cans, then pulled them from the bear-proof box. We pulled the bags off the cans and tied them off.
Hold on. That's perfect.
Eventually.
Nailed it.
Keeping them far away enough from our bodies to not touch anything, we hoisted them into the back of the truck.
When's lunch? We have more. We probably have
we got a few more.
With new clear bags to make it easy to see what's inside, the trash cans were ready for whatever may come their way next. While we headed to the compactor.
A long time ago, we had a lot of dumpsters that were spread throughout the campground in different loops. But this is kind of a different way of going about it, having one centralized location. And so everybody will be bringing their trash to this spot here. So we'll get the trash that we picked up from the day use area and toss it in, and then we can run it through a cycle.
And so that's what we did. But did you spot my mistake? Well, Peter did.
So when we're putting it in, we try not to push off because you just never know what's in there. There could be something sharp. And so if we can, we try to just place it in.
With my lesson learned, we started up the machine and let the compactor do its work, while I headed off to my last job. Beverly Beach is located here, far enough away from the closest town that it isn't connected to any water supply. Instead, it uses creek water, which gets treated by the park rangers here. I'm with
Jim Piccolotti.
Jim Piccolotti. Good to
Yes,
meet you.
I'm a
Corey
park ranger.
Jenkins. Tell me a little bit about what you do in your job.
I have the responsibilities of treating the drinking water and the wastewater. We have a year-round Spencer Creek that runs right alongside of this, and we draw water off of that, and we disinfect it and make it safe to drink.
Let's get started. Where are we going to go first?
Okay, well, let's start with the source.
The water comes in from Spencer Creek through this pump station. A grate helps eliminate some of the bigger pieces of debris, and then it goes through a culvert over to the filter beds, which get rid of the rest of the grit and mud. Then it gets sent to the treatment plant.
So what happens is as the water first hits the treatment plant, it gets shot with a little bit of chlorine, and then it goes through these membranes over here. As it exits, that's the post-chlorination.
Do we need to top off the chlorine today?
You want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Chlorine is not something you want to mess with, and multiple layers of PPE were required. With the jug in hand, we were ready to pour it into the tank, which would then clean the water before being sent out to the campsites in the park. So, how do you know the water is safe to drink? Well, you test it with these.
High-tech drinking water bottles. Laugh you may. These are quality drinking water bottles. These were here when I got here.
Is that right? Wow. So, with bottles in hand, we headed out to the campground to collect water from the closest campsite to the treatment plant, and then water from the furthest campsite away. With our samples ready, we headed back to Jim's chemistry set, where we tested the chlorine levels from each site and analyzed the turbidity, or cloudiness, of the water. Okay, so Jim, to wrap this up, there's only one true test to know if the water's good.
This is the best water you've have drank today.
I haven't
Ever.
ever. Okay, here we go. Delicious. So, what did we learn? Before attempting a potentially hazardous task, make sure to have a plan and analyze the situation. Remember to use the right tool for the job instead of substituting something else. Don't neglect your PPE, and take extra caution when a hazard is unknown. Park rangers do more than I ever realized. So the next time you visit one of our beautiful state parks, thank the rangers for the clean bathrooms, delicious water, and safe grounds. We'll see you next time on Oregon Odd Jobs.